My name is Owam Hoyi. I'm a rugby player for Dispatch Rugby Club. So I'm a flanker. I play 6 and 7 flank. And the reason why that's my position is just because with my skill set, that being I'm very good over the ball, very good tackler, very good ball carrier, with a relative lack of the passing ability, the kicks, that type of stuff, I felt that those positions would best bring out the best of me. So I was a bit of a late bloomer, came into the sport a bit late. I was about 14 years old when I first started, which is relatively late because most kids start in primary when they're about 7, 8, and then I got into it in high school. So it's been about 6 years now. Playing for Dispatch Rugby Club has been, it's been a blessing, man. Just in terms of the group of players that I've been blessed enough to come in with, the coaching, all that type of stuff. These are all people who have a vision, over the next couple of years, and we also have a vision for this year and what we're trying to do. There's a lot of good talent there, and yeah, we're coming together and we're taking it very seriously, which is a blessing. I actually had no idea that I was going to be playing in under 21. It actually turns out that in club rugby, there is the 21 division, which is for people obviously 21 and under, so usually 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20, 21. And then there's a league for us, and we all play against each other. And then there's a separate division for the people older than 21. So, yeah, there's actually very good opportunity, say, for example, to make an Eastern Province team, and to make the under 20s for essays and that type of stuff. There's very good opportunity for kids coming straight out of high school, and you don't have to immediately compete against, the much more experienced players, which is good. In my opinion, I would say it should be resistance training, simply because of the fact that, like I said, I came in as an under 14, right? So I came in with a relative lack of skill, right? And there were other much more skilled people than me. But eventually, throughout the months of training and say halfway through the season, I had gotten to the basics, right? And I could catch, I could pass, I could do all of that stuff. I could jump in the lineouts, that type of stuff. And I ended up being selected over people who were much more skilled than me, but they had a relative lack of size. So I'd say for an athlete, especially a rugby player, neurological sort of adaptions come much quicker than physical adaptions. So I'd say if you come in and you are the right size, then you have a much higher likelihood of performing, rather than if you come in as a skill-based player and you have relative lack of size, then you need to be at a 10 out of 10 every match. And how often is that going to happen? Do you understand? So I'd say if you come in and your skill set is solid enough and you do have the size, the explosiveness, and the athleticism to carry you through, then I believe that that's going to be the superior athlete, and that's the athlete that's going to go further. So to expand on that, coming in as, like I said, a 14-year-old guy, you come in and there's that natural size discrepancy. So some of the boys do get to work in the gym like a little bit sooner, but under 16 the playing field gets a bit more even because most of us are going to be in the gym at this time, and then we start building it up. And what I came to realize as I was going through it, is the reason why some guys who are much more skilled are missing out on selection is because you really have to front up at a different level. I mean, playing against bigger schools, the issue was always size. For example, if their 1 through 8 are much bigger than our 1 through 8, then we are going to have to commit, say, 2, 3 defenders, right, in order to stop that one guy, whereas they're only sacrificing one attacker and maybe 2 people to clean for them, which means it's going to open up spaces in the defense, right? So that's why even if the guy is a little bit less skilled or even much less skilled, but he's at least going to be a big object that's going to stop the other big objects from flying at us, then he's obviously going to get the selection. Now, that being said, for me personally, that's the reason why after high school, I'm 18, right? And we're coming off of, obviously, a COVID year the year before. We're coming back into rugby, right? I'd stopped resistance training. I'm probably 70 kg soaking wet at that time, right? So it would be very difficult to come in and play against the big boys and then stick my head in. But obviously, I did what I could. Captained the third team, you know what I'm saying? I captained the second team. and I got a first team cap even at that size, just through sheer grit and determination. But ultimately, it just wasn't going to happen for me because I just wasn't big enough. You know what I'm saying? So following that, I actually took a year off and just to put on the size, right? So we went from that 70 odd kgs to about a 95, right? And that took an entire year because obviously rugby is a clean sport. We keep it clean. So it's going to take time. Do you understand? Versus the neural adaptations that I've gotten now that I've gotten back in, right? This is the following year. We're 20 years old this year. And I'm a couple of months in and I'm already confident in catching high balls. I'm already confident in my passing, in my catching, confident in getting over the ball, all that type of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's only been a couple of months. It's March now. We're 3 months in. Do you understand? So taking that year off to put on the size, in most cases, is going to be worth it, especially if you want to sort of make it in the big leagues. Yeah. My future plans. Obviously, priority number one, have a good season, as you come in, you front up. But yeah, this year, at the end of this year, okay, let's start here. Basically, from the under 16 year, we obviously had a COVID year, nah? Whereas before that, I actually managed to get myself up to like an 85, right? Which is relatively heavy for a 16-year-old, So I was going to come in and be sort of one of the more dominant athletes, and then COVID struck. We couldn't gym anymore, so I come back down. Last year was another opportunity where I came up and I went to a 95. And then I went away for the holidays. It was like a family holiday situation. And then I came back down. And then now I'm sitting at probably like an 85-ish, you know what I'm saying? So for this off season, we're planning to train all the way through. We're planning to come through being our best selves just so I can see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what that is. And I don't know where the ceiling is for me. And if I come in feeling that I'm my best self and I still end up, you know what I'm saying, in like a similar situation, whatever, then that's something that obviously I'll accept and I'll still play my heart out. I'll still do everything. And if I come in and I do exceptional, then that would obviously be the goal. But I just want to come in my best self and I want to see what that looks like. So as far as any advice for athletes, young and old, I would say number one, play your heart out, because there are a lot of people out there who love the sport very, very much and just don't have the opportunity. Now, be that because of financial reasons, be that because of some sort of injury, you understand? There are a lot of people who would give a lot to be in your position. So keep that in mind, keep that in your heart every time you step out on that field and play your heart out for them as well. Also, nothing spectacular in this life lasts forever. I know we all wish it did. I know we all wish we could just play one long season and everything was awesome, but unfortunately things don't last forever. So myself personally, I'm getting into coaching already. You know what I'm saying? At this young age, I'm already going around to the different schools. Again, very fortunate, very blessed. Because my coach here at Under 21s actually is taking me under his wing and we're doing things with the Mighty Kings, that type of stuff. So yeah, very blessed and fortunate to have that opportunity come up. But ultimately, I also study fitness and conditioning, right? Studied that before I even bumped into him. So the plan was always to be very committed to this and to fully lock into this and find out how good we can do. And fortunately, this opportunity has come up to sort of steer me in that direction much, much quicker. So my advice would be have some sort of plan, right? If you do have a love for the sport, if you do have a love for sport in general, then get some paperwork behind you. I know it feels like it's just a piece of paper, and if I play my heart out and I'm awesome, then things will just happen for me. But unfortunately, that's not always how life turns out. So you need to have those things in place to make sure that you're okay, even after you're done with the sport. My name is Owam Hoyi. I am a rugby player, I'm a coach, I'm an athlete, I'm a trainer, and you can find me on all socials at Owam Hoyi. And yeah.